Alright, good morning. Today we're going to be working on creating a table of contents. To do that, we're going to open up a blank Microsoft Word document. And again, I'm going to go through each of the steps required for this assignment so that you'll be able to successfully complete it. Like I said, I just opened up Microsoft Word. At the top of the first page, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type my name. I'm going to hit enter 2 times, and I'm going to write a biography about myself that's about a paragraph in length. To save time, what I've done is I've actually created on my desktop a folder. I've already typed up this text, and I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to copy it and paste it into this document. Now, obviously, I want to make sure that my text is all the same. But there we go. So again, that was just me saving some time. You can pause the video if you need to. It says at the end of your paragraph, press the enter key 1 time. It says go to the internet and find a picture of something that represents you. So again, I went online actually, and I grabbed a picture. I'm going to go to insert picture, go to my desktop, table of contents. If you have a picture of yourself, that's great. That would be preferred. If not, then find something that represents you that you discussed in your paragraph. So I said insert that picture, and I'm going to resize the picture so that it's no larger than 3 inches tall or wide at the largest. So I'm going to take the largest measurement, I'm going to change it to 3 inches, okay, and there we go. It says set the wrapping of the picture to tight, so I can just go to text wrapping, select tight, and the text will wrap around the image. Of course, I need to move my image up into my paragraph, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to keep it on that left-hand margin, just like it is. Okay. It says now move your cursor to the very last line on this page by pressing Control End. Right, you can also just hit the down arrow key until you're at the bottom. And we're going to insert a page break. So I'm going to go to Insert, Page Break, and now I'm on this new page. It says type in the name of one person who has made a positive impact on your life. So I'm going to choose my mom and dad. As the people who I'm going to discuss in this paragraph. And in this paragraph, I'm going to just write a brief summary, okay, about a paragraph in length, of who they are and how they influenced me. All right? Make sure that, like, again, you want to be detailed. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter 2 times last time. Let's hit enter 2 times again. And I actually have that other document over here where I wrote up this text in advance. So here is the one I wrote about my mom and dad. Again, I just did this to save myself time as I created this video, so you would not have to watch me type a whole paragraph of text. Something that you're easily capable of doing. Now, just like I did on the first page, it says to get an image that represents them and use the same settings for that image that you used for the paragraph before. So I'm going to go to Insert, Picture. Again, you might need to go online, you might need to find a picture. I found one already. I called it Parents, and I'm going to just say Insert. Now, just like last time, it doesn't want any measurement larger than 3 inches. So I'm going to take the larger measurement, which happens to be the width this time, and I'm going to change it to 3. That changes the image. Okay, and then I remember I need to text wrap it and select tight. And now I'm going to move it up. And again, I'm going to keep it in that left-hand margin. It can go anywhere in there though. So that looks pretty good to me. And now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go all the way back up to the very top of my document. To do that, I can either scroll up using my mouse, or I can just hold down Control on my keyboard and press the Home key. That takes me up to the very top of my document. Okay, and it should be in front of my name. I'm going to go into Insert. I'm going to insert a page break again. This is going to add a page above the page with all the info that we have on it. So on this page, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to create the table of contents. Oops, sorry. Alright, so I'm going to create the table of contents using Microsoft Word. So I'm just going to hit Control Home again, make sure that I'm all the way at the very top of the page, and I'm going to select the Reference tab up here at the top. Under the Reference tab, I'm going to go to Table of Contents here on the left-hand side, and I'm going to select one of the options. For this one, I'm going to select Automatic Table 2 option. When I do that, it's going to pop up a message box that'll tell us we need to do something to the headings on each page. Make sure you read this page carefully. So it says, to add or remove items in the table of contents, select text in your document and then do one of the following. Apply a heading style from the Styles gallery. Change the outline level of the text. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. So right here it says no table of contents entries found. So I need to select the heading of each one of our paragraphs and give it a heading style. So I'm going to go to the paragraph with my biography on it. I'm going to select my name. I'm going to go back up here to the Home tab, and I'm going to select heading 2. This is under the Style selection. When I select that, you'll notice that your name is larger and there's a borderline, and there may be a borderline between your name and the paragraph. Okay? Move back up to your table of contents and click on the message where it says no table of contents entries found. Click on Update Table and you'll see your name, because your name is now recognized as one of the sections in your whole document. Move down to your Inspiration section on page 3. Do the same thing again. Highlight it. Go up, give their name a heading style. In this case, I'm going to select heading 2 again. Scroll up to the top of your document and go ahead and select Update Table. I said update entire table, and now you can see I've got a table of contents with both my name and my inspiration's name, my parents. I'm going to hit Control End on my keyboard. That's going to take me to the very last line of my document. Once again, we're going to insert a page break, and in this case, we're going to input the name of the person sitting next to you on your left. If you don't have someone next to you on your left, don't panic. Find somebody nearby who you can share this information with. Hit enter 2 times, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some biographical information that describes them. Right? To do this, you can either have a conversation with them, chat with them a little bit, or you can ask them to send you what their biography is in an email, and you can edit it a little bit as if you were writing it in the third person and paste that information in. Now, I happen to have interviewed a student who just graduated, and I'm going to go to the text that I just did, my neighbor, and that student was Georgette. I'm going to copy what we talked about, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in. Again, you want to make sure that our font is consistent throughout the whole document. I'm going to do that again here. Times New Roman. Let's change it to 12 actually. And I believe on my first page I have this set to 11. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to set it to 12. That way everything is consistent throughout the whole document. I might even choose to move this down. There we go. So that looks good to me. That looks good. And then here we go. So it says go back and insert a small picture that represents the person sitting next to you. So again, you could use the image that they used, ask them to send it to in an email, or after reading their biography, find an image of your own. I'm going to go to Insert, Picture, and I have an image of Georgette. And just like before, I'm going to change the height of that image to 3 inches because it was the larger dimension, and hit Enter. I then need to go to Text Wrapping and select Tight, and now I'll be able to move this up into my paragraph about her. There, that looks good to me. Then I need to go just right here to her name. I'm going to give it a heading style, which in this case I set all of mine to heading 2. I'll go up to the top, Table of Contents, and I'll say Update Table of Contents. I'm going to say Update Entire Table and hit OK. So now I've got each of the people who I've been writing about. It says you probably didn't know this, but your table of contents will automatically take you to each section of the document, so that you don't have to scroll down to this. To do this, all you have to do is simply move your pointer over the heading name and hold Control when you click on their name. So if I hold down Control, If I hold down Control and I click on my parents' names, the document will take me right to their page. Okay? If I went up to the top and I wanted to just quickly get to Georgette's name, it would take me to Georgette's name. So that's a very nice feature about the table of contents, and something that could look really neat to one of your teachers. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to create links back to our table of contents. One nice thing to do is, this is a nice thing to do because it's easy for your audience to navigate around your document. In order to make this happen, we need to do 2 things. Number 1, we have to create a bookmark, and number 2, we need to create a hyperlink to that bookmark. So to create a bookmark, we first have to place our cursor where we want to jump. In this case, we want to be able to jump back to our table of contents. So we need to input a bookmark at the top of the table of contents. Move your cursor to the very top of the table of contents. Go to the Insert tab and go to Bookmark. Name the bookmark Table. Click Add. Move your cursor to the end of the paragraph about you. One line below the paragraph, type in the words back to the table of contents. So I'm going to say back to table of contents. Select those words. Go to the Insert tab. Select Hyperlink. Click on Place in this document. Click on the table located in the bookmark section and hit OK. Test out this link that makes sure it works. To do that, hold down Control, click on the link, and there we are. We're right back at the table of contents. If I were to click on my name, it would take me back down to that page, and then that would get me right back to the table of contents. That's nice. We're going to go back down to where we wrote the back to the table of contents, and all we have to do in this case is we're going to copy it. Because our location is going to be to the same place after each paragraph, we always want it to be able to take us back to the table of contents. All I have to do is hit Enter and paste it in. And right here, I can hit Enter and paste it in. Oops. Make sure it's consistent all the way through. Okay, and then again I can just hold down Control and click on the link, and it'll take me back to my table of contents. That is the entire assignment. I've got my table of contents with links that work for each of my stories that I wrote, and I also have a functional back to table of contents button on each page. Make sure you test your links before submitting the assignment. Make sure that your assignment is saved as table of contents And of course, I always like to give it my name also so that everybody knows who created this document. And then you'll submit it to Schoology as a Microsoft Word document. That's it. Thank you very much.